Is Ariadna Jacob,
social media expert and creatorgenius.com founder, Ari Jacob.
The influencer whisperer linked to the explosion of TikTok superstars.
her name is Ariadna Jacob.
Her story is the American dream story. Immigrant from Mexico, father dies when she's 2, makes it on her own by herself, self-educates, self-trains, self-starts to create a little business, going up against some of the nastiest, most vicious people in the world and winning.
She's the bully, but she's calling you an abuser. I hope you end this. And nobody has the stones to fight back, so thanks.
Ariadna, I found that really interesting.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hopefully my microphone works today, because last time I know you guys were listening to me on some pretty bad audio, but right now we're on the road, caster, so I think we're okay. Can you all hear me? Are we early or is she late? Oh, I didn't even say a time because I didn't want to have technical difficulties. So yeah, I'm not a full-time streamer, guys. I used to represent social media stars, and I've been a nerd like since the MySpace days, but this is kind of new for me. But I do have like the setup and everything. But I want to do this stream because I've been joining the DUI guys stream, and I feel like I don't know everything about this case. There's no way anybody else does. And honestly, the mainstream media has not been covering the Fraser Bohm case very well. And that is because obviously the focus has been on the 4 lives lost, which I believe is appropriate. But what I don't believe is appropriate is how the city of Malibu, Caltrans, and state of California has failed to fix this extremely dangerous road. And I think that if at the very least I could get some like eyeballs on this thing so that people can, so there can be some pressure put on, I guess it's really up to the state. So I guess it's up to Newsom. And well, anyway, we'll get into it. But let me tell you guys what happened, because I don't even know if I really explained it very well. So since like I started, when I tweeted about stuff, I think all that stuff is accurate. I joined DUI Guys stream, and not stream, actually, we filmed a video and we're going to keep it going, I think. But yeah, I think I need like some practice, because honestly, I haven't gone live in a long time. I haven't done any videos. And I just figured if you guys want to hang out with me while I do the research on this, I already did a bunch and I prepped some, but like if I'm going to watch these videos and go through it, then maybe you guys can hang out with me. So if you're not down for that, then no worries. This stream might not be for you. But let's see here. Okay. So basically, let me tell you guys what happened in October of 2023. 4 girls are dead. A 22-year-old is facing life in prison. But if you think that this is just about speeding, you've pretty much missed the entire story. If you're new here, I'm Ari Jacob, and I've actually been misrepresented by the media. And I've watched narratives destroy reputations, not because they're true, but because they sell. And when a headline goes viral, the facts kind of go out the window. But this time, someone's life is at stake. And while we can't bring the 4 beautiful girls from Pepperdine back, we can demand real accountability, and not just from one driver. This is about a deadly road. Okay, political scapegoating, and a justice system that punishes whoever makes the best headline. So in this video, we're breaking it all down, what really happened the night of the crash, how the media twisted the story, why Fraser Bohm is being overcharged, and why the real blame lies with the state of California, in my opinion. If you care about the truth, fairness, and protecting future lives, please hit subscribe, ring that notification bell, and let's get into it. Okay, so I have some notes. I'm going to read you guys what I've got. What happened on October 17th, 2023? 4 Pepperdine seniors. Oh man, I don't want to butcher their names. I had just listened to it, but yeah, I'm gonna have. Well, okay. So Peyton Stewart, Asha Weir, Deslin Williams, and Niam Ralston were headed to a party in Malibu. They got dropped off. Okay. They got dropped off, or they were, okay, so this is a part that is being contested somewhere, I guess, and I might have said it by accident. I know that they had parked their car. People were discussing, was it an Uber? Like, did they get an Uber? I believe now, and you can look at all the reporting on this. I don't know how nobody like wrote in the report, like, yes, they parked their car in XY place and then got out of their car to walk to a party. It doesn't say that they were dropped off by an Uber. So that leads me to believe that they actually they parked. So they parked, got out of the car, and they were walking to the party. And they were headed to a party in Malibu, on Pacific Coast Highway near Duke's Restaurant. And minutes later, they were dead. And a BMW driven by 22-year-old Fraser Bohm crashed into a row of parked cars. One of those cars slammed into basically a bunch of, like, his car slammed into a bunch of cars that one of those cars hit the girl. So I think it was like kind of, I don't know what you call it, but when one car hits another car. Anyway, people were obviously extremely furious, and I get it. I mean, these are 4 beautiful young women, and their lives were stolen in an instant. Of course, we're angry, and of course, we want justice. But here's the thing about this. Just 6 days later, LA District Attorney George Gascon charged Fraser with 4 counts of second-degree murder. No real investigation, no time to actually review the evidence, which is like kind of alarming, right? Like, why wouldn't they want to do that? Well, because people were already fed up. I think at the time, at least 50 people had already been killed on PCH. Now, over 60 people have died on that very dangerous road. So, I don't know. Something tells me that they wanted to pitch a narrative so that people wouldn't blame them. But here's what the country doesn't know about PCH and how this all works. This highway has been deadly for years. There's no guardrails, not a lot of lighting, barely a shoulder, and locals call it Dead Man's Curve. And the state knows about this, okay? Caltrans has known about this. We're going to watch some of the videos of people, and what I found to be extremely disturbing was that one man who lost his daughter to a drunk suicidal driver on PCH. He said that he's been doing all this to get the road, or like basically attention, and wants to rile people up so they can put some attention to get this thing fixed. They basically, yeah, like a chain reaction. Sorry, earlier. Oh, I didn't even see it. It's so funny because I can, like, when I'm like getting into it, I can only either read the comments or like pay attention. I think it's my ADD. Anyway, I'll go through the comments in a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so he said that this father was saying that at one point it took 4 years to get no parking signs approved and put up, because he said it's a bunch of bureaucracy that's stalling all these changes. So like first they have to get approved by this, the state has to fund the budgets, then the city has to approve them. I don't know what the chain of command is, but to me, it sounds like a big cluster. You know what? So 6 days to charge Fraser Bohm, who wasn't high, who wasn't drunk, who wasn't on his phone with, you know, the worst kind of really like the max in 6 days without doing an investigation, but they can't even get a no parking put up. That pisses me off. So the state knows about this, Caltrans knows about this, and there are plans, reports, funding, but barely any action. So while the media turned Fraser into the face of this tragedy, the real story is about a road, in my opinion, that's killed dozens of people. And that story has been buried until now. And now he's facing life in prison. But was this justice, or is this justice so far? Or is there a way, or was this a way to basically keep the heat off of the state? So that's why I want to research this, and I think it's important. And here, let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, I'm glad that you guys can hear me good today. All right, so I have some videos. See, I don't know how people prep for their streams. I guess a lot of people have mods and stuff like that. I should probably just like use on my own. That way, like people aren't like watching while I fumble around. But to be honest with you, I get really bored if I'm like all by myself. So, so I was like, I'm just gonna do this live. I already saved a bunch of these things. So what I wanted to show you guys was that I found a bunch of things. So number one was that the first attorney for Fraser Bohm was this guy, Michael Kraut. And now it's Action Jackson from the Karen Reed trial. So, but there was, and then also I guess it's the DA or the former DA Gascon who was like really pushing the narrative about like how fast the Fraser was going and all that. So, but I wanted to show some sort of not conflicting, but what Fraser's attorney said previously, or his previous attorney said. So let me cue this up. I think that, okay, I'm just going to tell you guys what I know or what I understand. There's not a lot publicly available about this case is what the problem is. And this is not my fault. It's the mainstream media's fault. And the fact that they get fed something from the city of Malibu or the president of Pepperdine or whoever else, but they don't take the time to do their own reporting about anything. Oops, making my camera move all around. Okay, so from what I understand, let me pull up what this freeway looks like for you guys. All right. Okay, so that's the wrong one. Hang on. Let's see. Okay. All right, so basically, not this again. So I guess my thing was like mirrored last time, and that's why I was looking all strange. Okay, I'll just do that other layout. Okay, never mind. Here we go. Is it covering my face this time? All right. Hopefully not. But maybe I need to make it big. Okay, so you see the lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you're driving south, like towards Santa Monica, you're in lanes 3 and 4, I believe. Yeah. You're in lanes 3 and 4. If you are coming up, so we'll just call it down PCH. If you're going down PCH, you're going lanes 3 and 4. If you're going up PCH, you're going lanes 1 and 2. So at night, this is really scary, right? Because there's no median. So you might feel like some of these cars are coming straight at you. So you have to be paying attention. And where this happened, so apparently Fraser was his birthday, I think the night before or something like that, around there. And he had gone out with his friends. He's 22. And so his friends are hanging back at the house and they want to get some tacos. And the taco place that they decided they wanted tacos from is all the way down, I think in like Santa Monica or something, or just not in Malibu. So he goes down, picks up the tacos, and he's headed back. Fraser Bohm is headed back up. At the same time, for Alpha Phi's, I believe, by the way, I was an Alpha Phi, and I feel like really sad because the girls are, their friends and family, I suppose, are really, especially I think the friends are upset that I've been reporting this case and that, they basically think I'm trying to just save face for a bad guy. And I just think it's important for the facts to come out. There's no point, like, if this tragedy is gonna do anything, hopefully it will make it so that there's a bunch of pressure put on the state of California to actually do something, not make approvals, they are totally obfuscating responsibility, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm also an Alpha Phi. And the girls were basically all dressed up. They were going to a party. I don't know if it was like a fraternity party or what, but they're going to a party. They park. I think it was like, they're getting their car in the spot. They get it there. And then, so where were they parking? They probably parked somewhere near that red zone next to lane, or where it says number 1. I don't know if this is the exact area. Okay. But actually, I think I have an actual image of like the Dead Man's Curve area. Okay. So yeah, I guess this is the same thing. It's Dead Man's Curve right here. But I think the image maybe with the numbers is better. That way we can actually place it where they are. I can make like some better diagrams next time. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so they've parked their car right there. So down like where my logo is, I think down that way, there must be a street sign somewhere. Okay, so Jen said it was just south of there, but okay. So from what I understand, Fraser was in lane 1. Now, here's why it's confusing, guys, because I have access to the transcripts from the preliminary hearing, but all the things that go with it. So, for example, like the videos, the photos that they show, the exhibits, I don't have access to any of that stuff. So I'm really just trying to guess. Yeah. Swing Chaos says it's really jarring to see on-street parking on a 4-lane state highway. Exactly. Exactly. So Fraser is going up PCH in lane 1. And there is another car. I believe it's a white Honda Civic, white Honda. And the person driving it is a former Pepperdine employee. I think she worked in the cleaning staff area. And she has another coworker with her, and they're in lane 2. Now, I believe she was going. So we're going to go through this. So make sure you're following DUI Guy's channel, because I'm going to go over the actual transcripts with him. And that's where we'll get actual testimony from, her name is Erica Ortiz, I want to say. Let's see here. Okay. Might even be able to like play. So I have this thing called Speechify, and it will like read stuff. And I think it does it in Gwyneth Paltrow's voice. So you can actually choose any voice. But anyway, so let's see here. Yeah, I think her name was Erica Ortiz. But anyway, the point is she's driving, I believe, in lane 2. And I guess I'll stop saying I believe if you guys just understand that this is what I understand. I don't want to get sued for defamation or libel because I don't know all the facts. But again, like, nobody's really done any reporting on this. So I'm like, if I get anything wrong, you guys can call me out. It's not done in like bad faith or anything like that. It's just, it's a bit murky. And there's just, there wasn't like a ton. So you basically have to read through the, like I said, the transcripts to even understand it. So, okay. From what I understand, she's going on number 2, and they're both going northbound. And so let's say that night she was going 60 or 55 in the 45. She definitely wasn't going the speed limit, because she's like at one point she says he passes her. Now, I think there was another car that was going southbound that kind of started going in her lane that may have like scared her. And so it was kind of like the obviously not perfect storm, but I don't want to say perfect storm because it sounds terrible. But the thing is, she gets a little scared. And right at that moment, it may be Fraser was behind, like far behind, a little farther behind her. There, at one point, Fraser and this guy, Victor Calandra, get into some type of like argument, or I don't know if Fraser was talking to him. I just know that the lawyer said that this guy was chasing him or being aggressive with him. So let's listen to what Fraser's attorney said. That way I don't mess anything up. Okay. So here we go. I guess I'll just finish my thought on the one thing is that, so he speeds up to get out of Victor Calandra's way. And right at that moment, a car comes into his lane. Now, I don't know if she clipped his mirror or there was something about, I don't know if that was being discussed or not. I think that needs to be investigated still, but he felt like she came into his lane. And so he, at that point, swerves to get out of. So he's speeding up to get away from Victor. And right at that moment, Erica comes in his lane. Just, sometimes like you're driving and you feel like, oh, somebody's coming. So you just kind of, you maybe like just course correct a little bit. And so it could be that right at the moment where he speeds up to get away from Victor Calandra, going up, that he basically loses, like she's coming in his lane and he speeds up, and then that's kind of when everything happens. So, oh man, it's hard to explain. I wish I had maybe I could get like little figurines or something so that we can recreate it down the line. I'll try. Okay. So let's listen to what these guys said.
California, an attorney representing 22-year-old Fraser Bohm said today that his client was being chased by an enraged driver when Bohm crashed his car and killed 4 Pepperdine seniors on PCH in Malibu last week. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda has more on this story.
Today is the day that the narrative changes on Mr. Bohm's case.
The attorney for Fraser Bohm says a second driver was aggressively chasing him and that he was the victim of road rage.
And then the other person came into his lane and started pushing him. That person then made contact with my client's car.
He says that's when the accident happened. Bohm was arraigned yesterday on 4 counts of murder for the deaths of 4 Pepperdine students. He hid behind a post.
So I don't know. Oh my God. He's like, he hid behind a post. Yeah, that's because he was like getting like death threats and stuff. So what was I just about to say? I just heard that he hid behind a post. I think maybe so sometimes there's confusion between what the road rage guy did and what the former Pepperdine, I think her name, what did I say her name was? Erica. What she said. So, but let's keep listening.
And could not be seen, and cameras were not allowed today in court. Kraut would not say where he got the video, but says it did not come from the driver or his family. He says it lasts several minutes and claims sheriff's investigators ignored his attempt to show them the evidence.
So there's video, and I don't know if there's video. I think there's video of the white Honda coming into his lane, maybe making contact with his car. I'm not 100% sure about that, but hopefully we'll get all that pretty soon.
The sheriff's department refused to listen and do a job. They rushed to file this charge without.
So that's what I don't like. They didn't rush to investigate. I know people are like, this is not Karen Reed. Well, it's not, but there's always more to the story. You have to always question if like powerful people, very wealthy state, if there's politics involved, you just never know why something is happening the way that it is.
Knocking
it's good to look into it more.
On the doors of the neighbors.
This is what a sheriff's investigator claimed yesterday.
As far as another vehicle that's involved, we haven't been aware of anything like that.
And Kraut also challenged.
They're not aware of anything like that. Okay, but did you investigate it?
LA County District Attorney George Gascon. As he announced the charges yesterday, Gascon claimed that Bohm was going at more than 100 miles an hour.
So Gascon is the one that's pushing this 105 or 100, more than 100 miles an hour, which, by the way, we talked about this. If you've seen any of the stuff I was saying, is that when a car crashes and if it's airborne, the wheels spin. And I think in the transcripts, it even says that somebody said that they saw a wheel pop off. So if a wheel popped off, I mean, where's the sensor that's calculating all this stuff? Like, I don't think that that is a very reliable number. And by the way, how could he have gone from 45 or sorry, other people were going 55 and then just 2 seconds later he crashes? He wouldn't have been able to accelerate from, let's call it, 55 or 65 to 104 in the amount of time. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be possible.
Allegedly speeding at speeds of 104 miles an hour.
The evidence clearly shows that didn't happen. The max it was, according to witness testimony, my client's statement, and the black box inside the BMW, was that maximum 70 miles an hour.
Today was supposed to be a bail hearing, but the judge said it's been just 24 hours after the arraignment and he cannot make a rush determination for bail. He also said the victims' families should be notified. And the bail hearing has now been rescheduled for Monday morning.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great.
Okay. And here's one more that talks about the road rage guy and the claims.
Now at 4, community in mourning this morning after 4 women were killed.
Okay, wait, no. My bad. Okay, here we go.
Micah and Cher, the defense attorney, wants prosecutors to drop the murder charges, saying his client was speeding along Pacific Coast Highway because he was in danger, which is why he was going over 100 miles an hour. Now, as you know, the crash resulted in the deaths of 4 young women, and since then, signs like...
So you hear how they keep referring to going over 100 miles an hour, going over 100 miles an hour. The attorney didn't say that, so that's wrong. The attorney didn't say which is why he was going 100 miles an hour. No, he's saying that's why they went faster than, or whatever, 70. So listen to how the media makes mistakes, because this is how they're fed stuff and they don't do their own reporting.
Pacific Coast Highway because he was in danger, which is why he was going over 100 miles an hour. Now, as you know, his client was speeding along Pacific Coast Highway because he was in danger, which is why he was going over 100 miles an hour. Now, as you know, the crash resulted in the deaths of 4 young women and...
So the lawyer never said he sped to 104 because to get out of the road rage guy. He never said that.
Since then, signs like this, they've gone up advising drivers to slow down. Fraser Bohm came face-to-face with a judge in a Van Nuys courtroom Wednesday, entering a not guilty plea. We could not see him, only hear him. The 22-year-old is charged with 4 counts of murder and 4 counts of vehicular manslaughter in the deaths of 4 Pepperdine College seniors last week. Prosecutors say Bohm was behind the wheel, traveling 104 miles an hour in a 45 zone while on his phone texting.
The investigation review.
Prosecutors say, but this is why I don't think they did their job, because they have his phone. They have the records. He wasn't texting. So why are they putting this misinformation out there? It's unbelievable. He wasn't going 104 and he wasn't on his phone. And they know that because they have the dang phone.
That the defendant knew his actions were dangerous to human life and deliberately acted with conscious disregard for human life.
I mean, what conscious disregard do you guys have for not fixing PCH?
Driver lost control and hit 3 parked cars, which struck the 4 women on.
Okay, so he hit 3 parked cars, which hit the 4 women. That's what happened. I mean, but then again, it's the media that's saying it, so they've gotten like 10 things wrong here. So I don't know, but I think that part of it is true. Mike says they don't care, Ari, if they're wrong. They just stay silent until they have no option but to make a small statement. True. I mean, listen, I like to try to get things right, but I don't do this for a living. I don't get paid by KTLA LA. I have like a, by the way, shout out to my company, creatorgenius.com. If you guys have a business, I do social media for businesses. But anyway, I speak up on my spare time because I really hate when the media makes a villain, but the real villain should be Caltrans and the state of California, Gavin Newsom. I'm sorry, this isn't a political thing, but it's like, dude, fix the road. And then in a little bit, I'm going to show you guys what's been done since 2023. Just about nothing. But anyway, keep going.
Foot along Pacific Coast Highway, killing Deslyn Williams, Neve Rolston, Asha Weir, and
Neve Rolston. Okay. I think I butchered that name earlier. I'm sorry.
Peyton Stewart, all sorority sisters.
This is exceptionally tragic. The family grieves equally.
But Bohm's attorney says his client should not face murder charges, claiming this was a road rage incident where Bohm was being chased by another driver near Duke's restaurant, and there's video that proves it.
There was a road rage incident that started at Duke's, that this person chased him and tried to push him off the side of the road, and when he accelerated to get away from him, that's when the accident occurred.
The DA's office says so far there is no evidence to support the claim. I asked KTLA's legal analyst, Allison Treasel.
Is this a justifiable defense, you think?
There is the defense of necessity, but the burden is on the defendant to prove that the act, that the driving at 104 miles an hour.
See, there they go again with the 104, but they don't have that. There's no proof of that. Oh my gosh. Good grief.
Was done in order to prevent significant bodily injury. This is where the defense probably is going to have a problem, is that the act did not create a more serious danger than avoiding this car chase.
Here's what's also not being said, you guys, is that there's like two things going on right now. Okay. There's two things that happened. There's a road rage guy chasing Fraser, allegedly. Then there's another white car that comes into his lane. So now he's dealing with this guy. I mean, all that for some good tacos. I mean, that sucks. It's so sad. Okay.
And the suspect's bail was reduced from $8 million to $4 million. Now, the defense attorney.
I also think that people rushed because they wanted to say, this is a rich kid from Malibu. He deserves to get everything, you know, let's throw the book at him. I mean, he's obviously has a family that is successful, or they had a house in Malibu, but they were divorced. And then I guess their divorce proceedings or whatever leaked. And that's how they knew that the car was gifted to him from his dad. But here's the thing, you guys. From what I understand, the family sold their home and they don't live in Malibu anymore in order to pay for the bail or whatever. So, and then I don't think that they're getting any free attorney work. So what I think people need to think about is that, yes, Fraser having Alan Jackson is putting eyes on this, but it's actually helpful for everybody, because if, God forbid, somebody else made a mistake and they don't have the means to defend themselves and put light on the fact that, you know, the government isn't doing enough to fix this deadly road, then they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. Oh, man. Actually, tacos sound really good right now. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So, I mean, the whole like, oh, he's a rich kid. Like, it's just, I don't know if it happens to you. Maybe you want pressure on the city to fix the road. All right.
Wants that bail amount to be reduced even more. There will be a bail hearing review set for tomorrow morning. We're live in Malibu. Carlos Salcedo, KTLA.
All right. Now, so you might be wondering, like, why is everybody saying like the same narrative, right? This many fatalities, this many this many that. Well, they got it from somewhere. All right. So so check this out. This was just 8 months ago. This is the city.
My name.
We're not going to watch the whole thing, but there's a couple parts that are really disturbing. So like, check this out. This is where they I think he calls Fraser a monster right here. And this is a press conference posted on the City of Malibu YouTube page from October 18th, 2024.
My name is Damian Kevitt. I am the Executive Director of Streets Are For Everyone, a road safety advocacy nonprofit working with community members in Malibu, with the City of Malibu, with Pepperdine University, with the County of Los Angeles, and with the State of California to make PCH safer. I am also a survivor of traffic violence myself. On the 17th of October, 2023, the world found out about Dead Man's Curve.
The world found out about Dead Man's Curve in 2023. I think that's kind of a slap in the face to 50 other people who have died on that road. I know this guy is like, you know, I don't want to like victim blame, you know, I don't know what happened to him. But to say that the world found out about it, well, are you saying that they found out about it because of Fraser? Like that's, well, listen to what he says.
The 1 mile stretch of PCH known by those who live along it for the regular traffic collisions. Note, I said traffic collisions, not accidents. These are preventable crashes and fatalities. The world found out about Dead Man's Curve because on the 17th of October, 2023, it claimed its latest victims when a driver whose name, out of disgust, I will not repeat.
When a driver whose name, out of disgust, I will not repeat. This is at a city hearing. Wow. I mean, that's like some vitriol. And is it deserved towards that, just that one person?
Who was doing over 100 miles per hour.
Again, you hear that? Who was doing more than 100 miles an hour.
When he lost control, killing 4 young women, students at Pepperdine. I invite all of you and all of you here to repeat their names after me. Neve Ralston. Peyton Stewart. Asha Weir. Deslyn Williams. Thank you. The community of Malibu, the entirety of Pepperdine, and many others around the world grieved. And as a collective, we all said, enough is enough. But the truth is, while we have said their 4 names, this stretch of PCH going through the community of Malibu has been known as a high-speed, deadly stretch of road for decades. Neve, Peyton, Asha, Deslyn were the 55th, 56th, 57th, and 58th lives taken in just the last 10 years along this stretch of PCH. That doesn't include the many more before them that also lost their lives on this stretch of road. And since the 17th of October, there have been 5 more, and we are now up to 63 lives lost through the general community of Malibu along PCH.
63.
Well, we will not be saying all of their names. Some of them are on the ghost tires behind me, drawn on there by the fathers, by the wives, and the family members.
So sad. So they have these like white tires and people like decorate them and stuff. And it's kind of like a memorial
of those who lost them. Their lives were lost. To some degree, they were lost and they were considered acceptable. Just part of doing business along PCH. Somehow on the 17th of October, we crossed that invisible threshold when the loss of these 4 young women, and we are all here to say that enough is enough. And none of us are content with allowing PCH to continue to be the deadly stretch of road that it is. We are here to say that we have all lost sleep over making PCH safer, and we will not rest till it is safe. So people no longer die here just because they are walking or cycling or driving along PCH, because none of the traffic violence along PCH are accidents. They are and were, each of them, preventable. So over the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, they were also preventable if they put like a median. So this is really, there's a thing called road dieting, and they haven't discussed that at all that I've seen in the changes for PCH. But will show you, guys, where they really should put they really should put a median right here, because I kind of think that people just get scared if they see headlines lights all of a sudden as somebody's getting their lane. It can be scary. And then there's also people crossing and all, like, they don't wait till the crosswalk and all this kind of stuff. Traffic. Somebody said traffic calming. Yep. Jan from Jan Dean was tragically injured. He barely survived. Come on, governor and Malibu fix PCH. Yep. Okay, so oops.
Minutes or so, you will hear from all levels of government and activists about what we have accomplished so far and what will be happening immediately and in the near future to make sure that we fix PCH for everyone who uses it.
So this
With that
is
said,
I'm going to skip a couple people. This is the mayor.
Irwin.
Thank you very much.
Assemblymember Irwin, a lot of the things you were going to say get taken care of. So I'll try not to be too repetitive, but I want to make one point that nobody's mentioned. The accidents happen on PCH on a regular basis. And they're not accidents. These are tragedies. We had a fatality just at the city limits
saying the right thing
over the weekend with serious injury.
There is one thing though to keep in mind that while there is some onus on the city of Malibu to get these things fixed, the problem is that they want tourism and they want flow of traffic, right? People are commuting, and what they don't want to do is cause a bunch of congestion on PCH if they basically renovate it or whatever. And so there's some things that haven't gotten approved that got, presented. And then ultimately the state has the last say. So while you could blame all the city of Malibu, it's not all in their hands.
To everybody involved. There was another traffic accident just up the street about 3 miles away last night. 4 people were injured and had to be airlifted out. This is a dangerous highway. And the city of Malibu, its residents, yes, this is our town, and we're responsible for the people that come through it to visit us or to live here. We take this seriously. And we've done everything we know how to do to make sure that Malibu is as safe as it can be, whether it's our beaches, our highway, or our trails in the mountains. And I just want to say one thing. When the tragedy happened a year ago, 366 days ago, we got phone calls from everyone from our local communities, from residents, from the sheriff's department, from the elected officials we have here, Supervisor Horvath, and they all said, what can we do? And what do you need? And we said, we need help. And you know what? They all showed up. They came here in droves and they said, we're going to be helpful to you all the way through the process. And we can't thank them enough for it. I have to tell you, a round of applause and thank you for everybody here. So let me start off by saying, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate the press coverage you have made.
Okay, so they obviously invited all the press. We'll go through that whole thing maybe another time, but there was a video that really I just was blown away by, just how little people have been doing. I don't know why this one is. Oops. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. This is what I wanted to show you guys. All right.
PCH. You don't think it's going to happen to you? You don't think it's going to happen to some?
This one's wild.
As one of California's blood alleys, a taboo. In on this scenic road, the 21 miles of PCH through Malibu. It's also known as one of California's blood alleys. Tens of thousands
Blood
of
Alley,
drivers
that's
use this
another
stretch of
nickname.
PCH every day, and Malibu resident Michelle Shane is one of them. Michelle lost his 13-year-old daughter Emily along PCH. She was hit by an intoxicated and suicidal driver. Well, Michelle's grief and anger led him on a path to make a documentary, and it took a decade.
Watch this. This
to
is
complete.
maddening.
Michelle hopes the message from his movie will make people think of safety first out here together and push Caltrans to do more to address traffic violence on PCH.
911, what's your emergency?
Kind of an insane driver ahead of us on Pacific Coast Highway.
Michelle Shane saw the same driver that day.
I kind of shook my head and went, wow, look at this maniac.
On the same road.
She's passing people in emergency lane.
On his way to pick up his daughter, Emily.
Oh my gosh, it's hard to watch this.
And I said, that's not going to end well for somebody. Never thinking that somebody was going to be me.
The girl was walking along PCH near Heather Cliff in Malibu when out of nowhere a driver came barreling into Shane.
She's dead. And my life changed forever.
Michelle's journey of grief, pain, anger led him back to PCH and the numerous tales. Tragedy and loss, not just his own, along that same road.
Two cars collided head-on, sending one of them in the ocean below.
There was a fiery crash and a man is killed.
The deadly collision left 2 people dead and 2 others injured.
Putting in the local paper and on the news and just on and on and on. And I said, this is nuts. Can't anyone do anything? I mean,
maybe he could.
Can't anyone do anything? Seriously.
Angry enough. Maybe we can affect change.
So here's the thing. Some people that are mad that I'm covering this, well, if it gets steam, this is actually what one of the victims' family members wants, is he wants there to be anger. And I think that this is justified towards what he's doing, you know, but for some reason, they want to blame it all on Fraser Bohm.
Maybe he
Not
could.
him.
If we can get people angry enough, maybe we can affect change.
Michelle is a Hollywood film producer. He spent the last decade making this documentary.
It's not out yet. I tried to
21
find
Miles
it.
in Malibu discusses the dangers, the frustrations with a state-run highway through the middle of a city that's also a tourist destination.
It's not just my story. It's the story of the road.
The Chumash Indians lived in what they called Malibu.
The film begins with the history of PCH in Malibu. In 1929, it opened as the first public road through the area. In 1947, it was widened to a 4-lane highway. Through the eyes of a local business owner,
I have seen 9 fatal collisions or deaths from this exact spot.
A sheriff's deputy.
Look at this pedestrian crossing the street right here. See that?
Through the camera lens of a local reporter.
A fatal car versus pedestrian crash at Las Flores Canyon Road last night.
The film tells some of the personal stories behind the statistics. Since 2015, there have been more than 700 traffic injuries and 20 deaths.
Okay, so they said since 2015. When was this made? When was this posted? 2 years ago. So, like, 40 more deaths have happened since then? Is that right? Am I doing math right? I don't know. This is crazy.
Along this stretch of PCH.
You don't think it's going to happen to you. You don't think it's going to happen to somebody that you love. You never do until it does.
The film argues it's nearly impossible to make changes even with a dedicated city task
This is
force
important.
and multiple studies because the state has the power.
We're actively
State has the
working to
power.
reduce fatalities and serious injuries. 1 death is too much.
Caltrans has not seen the film but says much has changed since they started operating PCH in the 70s. They've added traffic signals, turn pockets, medians, crosswalks, guardrails. But Michelle asks, where are the major changes to address the dangers?
Yes.
The PCH you see now and you are driving on, there have been no major changes to that road since the 50s.
Wait, let's
we're
listen to that
talking
again.
70 years, 70 plus changes to that road since.
Where are the major changes to address the dangers?
The PCH you see now and you are driving on, there have been no major changes to that road since the 50s. So we're talking 70 plus years ago.
That's unbelievable.
The same twists and turns.
There's nothing inherently troublesome about the situation there if
Of
drivers
course.
behave in a safe and reasonable manner.
Caltrans says for years, they've been in dialogue with Malibu residents and the public about safety concerns. In the most recent
They
study
launched
funded by Caltrans and done by Malibu, there were 130 recommendations, suggestions on how to make PCH safer.
And 6 years later, and the film's released now, 0 has been changed. 0.
Some of the recommendations
That's
were rejected by the city.
unbelievable.
Others had right-of-way issues, such as they required private
Okay, let's see why he's saying
Changed.
that it's 0.
0.
Some of the recommendations were rejected by the city. Others had right-of-way issues, such as they required private property. A number of them are right now being constructed.
The film also talks about the amount of time it takes to go from recommendation to reality.
They put some no parking signs up, which took 4
Okay, this is crazy to me. All right. This is when I heard this, I was like, this is unbelievable. What? No parking signs took 4 years? No parking signs took 4 years on PCH.
Takes to go from recommendation to reality.
They put some no parking signs up, which took 4 years, right? Think about that. 4 years. How many people got killed while bureaucracy was walking its way through this? It's insanity.
Caltrans says nothing is fast-tracked. It can take up to a year for the agency to investigate a single issue.
No, I'm not family friends with the defendant. I just I met him briefly, and I know a friend of a friend. So, but I'm not in contact with them. Don't know them personally.
There are many factors and multiple agencies involved in all of the reviews and approvals.
Michel says his latest project has nothing to do with awards or acclaim.
All these stories, all these people were upset and have been affected.
I did live in California. I live in Vegas now, but I know exactly like the stretch of highway that they're talking about. And I mean, it is dangerous. And I want to speak out because I think we can make a difference and put pressure on California to literally renovate the road, not just put up signs, not just repaint stuff, renovate it. No?
There hasn't been enough of a movement to create the change.
We want to create a movement
about producing real change.
There's parking, there's bicycling, there's walking. There's too much noise that you've got to remove the noise. And if you can remove the noise, you can save some lives.
Any message, any film, any out.
Okay, so then they should stop voting in the same people. It's not, I don't even think it's about that. It's about the fact that California, there's an incentive or there's something going on for why they don't want to do extra things and but for the road. If there was 2 drivers, one of them going also, let's say they were going 65 on a 45 and Fraser was going 70, there's no proof that he was going 104. If one car was going 65 and one car is going 70 and one car clips his car, another car is chasing him and road raging with a past history of road raging, then it could be that the accident is multiple people's fault. And the fact is they needed to investigate how fast everybody was going, where everybody else on their phone. Was there another car that was speeding? Because I think in the transcripts, you're going to see that there's other cars involved and other people. And it's just not as cut and dry as it sounds right now. Why? Because only the city is generating the narrative. So only anybody's heard one thing, which is already we know is wrong. I believe it's wrong. So, and here's the thing, they have a new DA. So here's one thing I do want to talk about because I didn't know this and maybe everybody doesn't know it, but the LA District Attorney is one of the most powerful government officials in California. They're basically right underneath the governor. So Gascon, when he made this, when he was pushing this to be murder charges for Fraser, he was up for re-election and Newsom didn't even want to endorse him because people were so mad at Gascon. Nathan Hochman, who previously ran for governor as a Republican, ran as an independent DA, and he won. I met Nathan Hochman. I really like him. I don't know if he has eyes on this or not, but it seems like Gascon wanted to appease these angry families instead of being like, you know what? I added more police officers. We did this, we did that. He didn't do it. So now, do you get what I'm saying? And now we're in 2025, and all these changes they said they were going to make to the road, well, they still haven't happened yet. And I'm going to show you guys another video. Okay, it's a little bit boring, but worth looking at a little bit of it. So I'll show you guys. I don't know why, like the city of Malibu, they make all their things like for kids. Oh, here, let's just watch the rest of this because I thought this was a news report.
That helps people focus on safety and reducing fatalities and serious injuries on our highways is a great thing. And we applaud everyone who's got that in their hearts.
Maybe it all happened for me to be the person that creates the change that saves a family from having to live through this.
Right now, Caltrans is widening the striping on lanes, crosswalks, and pavement markings. They're also upgrading medians and looking into pedestrian-activated crosswalks and beacons. Michelle's big dream is to see pedestrian bridges over PCH with safety ads on them. But he believes pricier speeding tickets along that stretch right now is a quicker solution. Michelle also wants to create a program for high school students using his film as an educational tool.
A 60-day period directly.
Okay. So this is a like town hall meeting, or like not a town hall. Sorry. Let me see what it actually says. Malibu Speed Safety Program virtual public meeting. So this is like basically they're going to talk about what they're doing for the road. So meeting agenda, speed safety program overview. Okay. So on October 13th, Governor Newsom signed a bill 645 for safety pilot programs in select cities: Glendale, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Oakland, San Francisco, and San Jose. And then not until September 27, 2024, authorizes Malibu to implement a speed safety system pilot program for a 5-year period or until January 2032. What a pilot program. And what are they even going to do in this pilot program? Well, let's find out. So, speed safety system, a fixed electronic device that utilizes automated equipment to detect a violation of speed laws and obtains a clear photograph. So this is the speed cameras. The goal is to prioritize the safety of residents, visitors, motorists, and pedestrians and cyclists. Okay. So some other cities have this program too. Okay, where are they going to implement them? So they're going to get 5 cameras. 5 cameras, one on Decker, Morning View Drive, Latigo Canyon Road. So this is the Dead Man's Curve, the 5.4 right there. Carbon Beach and Tuna Canyon.
By that state bill. And so the 5 locations shown on the screen were selected based on their history of fatal and severe crashes, numerous instances of excessive speeding, and geometric constraints. And so the 5 locations are at Decker Canyon, Morning View Drive, Latigo Canyon, Carbon Beach Terrace, and Tuna.
Thank you, Matt. The use policy discusses how the data for this project is collected, stored, and used. It's important to note that all data collected by the speed safety system is protected and confidential.
Okay, this is what's kind of wild to me is these are the fines. So if Fraser was going like 68 or 70, he was going 25 miles over the speed limit, which I believe the new thing here is that they're going to charge $100 fine for going 25. If 100 miles an hour or more is $500. But like, shouldn't you get like you should treat it like a worse crime or whatever? Like, what's a DUI? I don't know.
Traveling 11 to 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit would be a warning notice during that 60-day period directly following program implementation. And after the first 60 days have elapsed, the fines have a sliding scale based on the vehicle speed, with a fine of $50 for driving 11 to 15 miles per hour over the speed limit, up to a maximum fine of $500 for driving 100 miles or more per hour. In terms of
progress, it will be. And then beyond that, the
Okay, so then people start asking questions, and this is the crazy part. They're actually not going to do the cameras yet. So check this out.
Stone, or can public advocacy influence? Ryan says, Matt, can you clarify what determined the boundary showing Decker Canyon at west and Tuna at east? Are these boundaries etched in stone, or can public advocacy influence placement?
Can a camera be placed based on the data of?
Hang on, I'm going to
We have another question here. Are there any plans to address parking along the road and improve cyclist safety? That I think is still in development with the PCH master plan. I don't have any specific information on that.
So no, they're not doing anything to help the cyclists.
So I can't really answer that question.
Susan, there was an earlier question about the fines.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right. Those fines are inconceivably low, especially for how dangerous speeding is. Can I ask why they are so much lower from the camera than they would be from an officer? 100 miles per hour over the speed limit is only 500.
Yeah, it is inconceivably low.
To clarify this, this chart, 100 miles an hour does not mean over the speed limit. That just refers to any speed of 100 or more. And these fines are set by the state bill, and they're the same as the fines that were permitted for the 6 original cities as well. So for this pilot program through 2032, the city has no control over.
Because an officer has to be out there looking at how speed they're going. But with the speed cameras, any speeding that occurs at this rate will be captured and cited. So I think so there's more capture of any speeding than what we would normally see with regular enforcement. So that's the benefit of having a speed camera here than the regular enforcement.
All right. Any more questions?
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
What about lowering it from 11 to 15 to like 6 to 15 so that we don't tell people it's fine to speed at least 10?
Okay, wait, but so I wanted you guys to hear about the delay on the cameras.
Yeah.
That's not as big of a factor, and there's the traffic.
Okay, hang on. I sped it up a little bit. I'm going to go back to normal.
However, due to...
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Question. So
okay.
I think it's not in yet, but someone's typing it.
Okay. Or maybe I can just... Okay, Meryl. Okay. We have originally projected that they would be up by November. However, due to the Palisades fire, that timeline, we're not confident that it will happen by then. We're hoping.
So they had said that we're going to put these 5 cameras up by end of 2025. But now they're saying because of the Palisades fires, no cameras.
Still going to try to stick to that timeline. But as you know, there's a lot of things going on in PCH. It could be that some of them are in place, but maybe not all of them, especially in the areas that have, where the fire recovery is occurring. But that's what I've been told at this point.
But it might be possible to get the Morning View and Latigo and Decker.
I hope so. I mean, I anticipate that, the ones that are in the burn area, there could be, some complexities there.
Why would there be I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe there is, but now the cameras aren't even going to go up.
Yeah, but there's only two there, I think. So
Yeah.
that's not as big of a factor. And the traffic can't go that fast there anyway. So
But
Latigo,
there's
Morning View, and
also-
Decker.
Yeah, there's also a staff capacity issue. When I inquired,
Staff capacity issue. You see, now there's a staff capacity issue.
our Public Works Department about this, they were not as confident as they used to be. I mean, they're going to try. They'll probably know more.
I don't want to I don't want to pile on this lady because I don't know, she's probably just relaying a message, but she does not make me feel very good about the fact that anything is going to happen other than painting the roads. These cameras, I don't know when they're going to go up.
In a couple months. Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
How was the fiber that was installed last year for the signal integration from Topanga to John Tyler? Was that at all affected during the fire, or is that fiber still intact so that the signals?
Okay, this is too boring. I'm done now. My ADD is kicking in. But it is important that I found that, or that you guys look at these things, because it's well, okay, what is happening? What is being done? Or are they just putting all the blame on somebody that was, the fact that they're saying he was going 100 miles an hour is basically putting everybody pitchforks, when if that information is not true, then why would they do that? And you should ask yourself why the media does things that are out. When you see the media do something that is out of the ordinary, it should ring inside your head, your alarm bells. Your alarm bells should be ringing when you see the media running with a narrative without investigating exactly what happened. Now, if another driver caused Bohm to swerve, another driver that was speeding, everybody's saying, well, 65 is also speeding. Well, if it turns out that Calandra or the woman in the Honda were speeding as well, then what are we saying here? And she went into his lane. I don't know the answers yet, but I think that we should look into it. He is on CCTV speeding. Okay, well, how do you know that? Do you have the evidence of that? Because I haven't seen the evidence. I don't even think it's been contested. Hang on, my foot is falling asleep. That he was speeding. Oh my gosh. Literally falling asleep. It doesn't matter who in the past wasn't charged. You don't have, I don't know, somebody up here is upset. Okay. Well, I think hopefully you guys learned something about this case. I will prep. Definitely go if you're trying to figure out why do people think it's unfair that he's being charged with murder. Well, go watch the DUI guy's latest video. We actually read through the defense's motion to dismiss the murder charges. And yeah, I think there's I think this thing is about Gascon. I think it's about Caltrans. And I don't know why people are so mad that I'm covering this, because at the end of the day, more attention on PCH and the government to fix it is good, whether you're on whether you want that you think that Fraser has been overcharged, or whether you think he is a monster, which I think is ridiculous. The kid was sober, not drunk, not high, not texting, went to go get some freaking tacos, and an accident happened. He was not going 104. He wasn't joyriding. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. So this channel, the reason why I do this, because I don't like selective outrage. If you're going to be mad about something, you got to look at all the facts, and you have to give somebody a fair shot to defend themselves. And it shouldn't just be because it's kind of like reverse discrimination. Just because his family's wealthy, he deserves the worst. Come on. I just don't believe that. Selling chaos says, I hope human animal isn't driving. They sound drunk. You don't sound intelligent enough to be truly useful to the innocent, I don't know, for fraud movement. Okay, you're probably in Karen Reed. It seems the case is over. Move on. I wasn't a Karen Reed person at all. I just tuned into it briefly. Anyway, since the haters have entered the chat, I think it's time for my outro. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you all next time. And if you have questions, please put them in the comments. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, pretty much everywhere, Little Miss Jacob, and subscribe now. Even if, you know, tell me I want to know what everybody thinks. And I'll see you guys next time.
Watch your step, she's here to play. And though she be but little, she is fierce. Takes the drama, cuts it clear. This is the Little Miss Jacob Show. Bullies beware, she'll take you down in a thread, you know. Play it cool, keep it calm, let the rhythm flow. Climbing high while they're stuck down below. No shortcuts, no cheats, she's here to win. Every comeback's fire, let the games begin.
Yes, please help me. Teach me how to do it.
Strike, every line is gold. Take your shot. But she's 10 steps ahead. Every headline reads the thread she just said. It's the rhythm of the bold, the beat of the free, the sound of ambition, the way it should be. Step by step, let the groove take control. Turn the highs and lows into pure gold. This is the show. This is the vibe. The Little Miss Jacob groove is alive. And though she be but little, she is fierce. Cuts through the noise with words that pierce. It's not just wit, it's how you move. Every challenge fuels the groove. It's the rhythm of the bold, the beat of the free, the sound of ambition, the way it should be. Step by step, let the groove take control. Turn the highs and lows into pure gold. This is the show. This is the vibe. The Little Miss Jacob groove is alive. Bullies beware, she's calling it out. No room for doubt, she'll flip the whole route. This is the Little Miss Jacob.
It can be
Show,
both.
where the real ones rise and the
Actually, it
rest
can be
lay
both.
low.